subscribe now, then I can probably swallow some of All Might's DNA so I can become the most powerful Power Ranger ever. Welcome to my channel. This is Serge bringing you another action figure collector's review on Bandai's Anime Heroes, My Hero Academia's All Might. Now these figures have not released over here in the United States as of this moment in time. I know McFarlane owns the licensing to the action figure rights to My Hero Academia, so we'll have to see how that goes in the future. Maybe they get released over here, maybe they don't. But anyway, as of right now, you can get these over there in Japan, and I want to say Europe, maybe some parts. Don't quote me on that last part. Anyway, you get All Might staring at you through the window. You also get a good bit of accessories for All Might. You get a nice anime image of All Might down there at the bottom corner. Over here at this side of the box, you get Anime Heroes up there at the top. You get an illustrated image of All Might with his name right in front of him. You get to peep into the figure like a peeping Tom would do. Over here on this side of the box, you get Anime Heroes up there at the top. You get My Hero Academia down there at the bottom. And you get a bunch of this Japanese writing wrote in the middle. Don't ask me what it is because I don't know. Up here, you get Anime Heroes, you get My Hero Academia, you get other figures from this wave, and it looks like them shoulder joints is going to be really ugly on this figure right off the bat, but we can only tell whenever we open up the box. But we get Anime Heroes up here at the top of the box, and down here, nothing but a bunch of writing. Let's get to it and open this bad boy up. Let's take a good look at this Anime Heroes All Might's accessories. And first of all, we'll go ahead and take a look at his fisted hands. Boom, boom. And I do like these hands a lot. And you do need these hands for whenever you're throwing down with a couple of baddies like the League of Villains. Like Tomura Shigaraki, for example, or Overhaul. Which we don't have an Overhaul action figure. But maybe you can post them up next to a statue. But anyway, these hands are a little bit glossy for my taste. I don't like that at all. But I'm glad that they are a different size than what Deku's or Bakugo's hands are. Because in the Dragon Star series line by Bandai, all the hands are the same sizes. So I do like the different variation in hand sizes whenever it comes to bigger characters such as All Might. So I do like that a lot. And we'll go ahead and take a look at his wide open hands. High five. And they look good enough. You know, they're passable for whatever kind of wide open hand poses that you might need. Maybe he needs to slap somebody in the face or put his hand over his face or something. So that's very nice. I'm glad that we do get these hands. And there's no fingernails or nothing like that. And they're still just a little bit glossy. The color's not bad on them at all. That's much like all these other hands. Now this hand is more or less the same as this hand, but except these three fingers are going down. So, I mean, you can get some different poses out of that. But if they were going to do something like that, I wish we would have got a different accessory, maybe a different head sculpt or something like that. Something just a little bit different to show some difference there, because this hand is more or less the same as the other one. So that's a little bit disappointing. And right here you do get the thumbs up hand, and I do like it a lot for whenever he's doing his famous thumbs up towards the camera to let everybody know that things are going to be okay, and I do enjoy that a lot. Anyway, that was a good look at All Might's accessories. Here he is, the symbol of peace, Japan's #1 hero, All Might, out of the box and getting ready to serve justice to all the wrongdoers onto your screen. Now, this is a very interesting take on the All Might figure. Now, is this figure really worth buying? We're getting ready to find out in just a second. Okay, let's take a good look at his articulation. First of all, his head can't look up at all, so that's very displeasing. And he can look down just a slight little bit. You do get a little bit of that confused eye going on to that side and a little bit going on to that side. And be careful whenever you're spinning his head around in The Exorcist, because this neck piece wants to spin around as well. So just be on the lookout for that. As you can see, it's just moving around in there. but he does have that exorcist, and his neck looks a little funky now. He can throw that perfect pitch, which is a full 360. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got double jointed elbows that bend in that far. And this gauntlet doesn't get in the way of the articulation. It's just that his muscles are so big and bulky. So that's very nice. And anyway, you do get a swivel in that ball hinge right there, allowing you to go side to side or in and out. So I do like that a lot. Now this waist right here, you don't really get much articulation out of it. You can't go forward, side, or back, so that's a little bit disappointing. And getting them to go to the side is like twisting. It's just really hard. You'll hear them click, and it sounds like it's going to break, and it feels like it's going to break. But he can go to the side, but it just feels like it's going to break on you. And this gets really ugly where his belt is. So that's very displeasing. I don't like that at all. But his legs can kick out that far, and he can kick forward that far as well, and he can kick back a pretty decent amount, not too bad. And you get a thigh wiggle in there, and that's very, very squeaky joint. You get double jointed knees that bend in that far and bend back that far, and his foot can go that far forward. He can do slightly, almost, not quite the perfect ballerina. And his ankles are on a ball joint, and they do have that side to side. And that was a good look at All Might's articulation. Let's take a good look at All Might's sculpt and detailing. And it looks like All Might, but his head sculpt, it's just not on point. Like, it favors him a lot, but it just doesn't scream All Might to me. Hopefully the amazing Yamaguchi one will look a lot more like All Might. His hair, in my opinion, is just a little bit mustardy, and I don't like that. I wished it was just more of a, like this hair right here on the Band Presto. I think that hair looks very good. I do like that a lot. And you see how they did with that mouth? They made it look like it came from the anime. Yeah, I wish they would have done that with this mouth, and maybe it might have made that head sculpt pop a little bit more. Now, the eyebrows look a little bit too bushy in my opinion as well. Maybe thinned out them eyebrows, maybe that would do the job, I don't know. But anyway, looking at the rest of the figure, we'll look at the back of the head sculpt. And the head sculpt on the back doesn't look bad at all. It's just that color is a little off. And if you have the Band Presto one, like the statues, then all of this is the same. It's pretty much glued on over this blue, and it looks very good. And there's no paint out of place or nothing like that. So I do enjoy that a lot. I think that they did a really good job with that. And the shoulder joint is a little bit ugly, but I'm glad they changed it from the shoulder joint that was on the back of the box. I think that looks a lot better. And that blue came out very clean and nice. And I don't mind All Might's suit being as glossy. Maybe tone it down a little bit. But I'm okay with All Might's suit being glossy. I mean, it kind of shows off his muscle definition a little bit more. I just don't wish. I wish that his flesh tone wouldn't been as glossy. But anyway, his yellow looks good right there. And this has sculpted line work in between there, on his gauntlets. I wish that would have been cut. That would have been nice instead of it just showing a place where it could be separated at. But the blue and the white looks very good on that yellow, so that pleases me a lot. And I do like his belt, although I think it looks a little off to me. And I like his muscle tone. I like the girth of this figure a lot. To me, the body of this figure really screams All Might, because it's got a lot of power in them legs and arms, and it's a very big and bulky character. So I do like that a lot. Right there at his knees, it looks very good. And the whole figure looks very good as well. And if you like All Might butts, then give this video a thumbs up, because there's All Might's butt, and I just showed it to you. But anyway, that's a good look at Bandai's take on All Might. Bandai's anime heroes All Might scales up against a couple of All Mights from McFarlane Toys. Over there on his left, we have the Silver Age GameStop exclusive. And over there on his right, we have the original release of the All Might from McFarlane Toys. And these three figures feel like they could fit in the same scale because the All Might from McFarlane Toys was kind of scaled a little smaller in my opinion. I think he should have been a little bit taller for that 7-inch line. But all in all, I do like all three of these All Mights. But if I had to choose, I would say McFarlane Toys is the better All Might because of the posability is a little bit better. And it just looks, in my opinion, a little bit better. Now, where this one has it beat is the legs and the girth through here. I think All Might, the McFarlane Toys All Might should have done that as well. But we'll go ahead and do a head swap because I did it with the other two, so might as well do it with this one. And maybe they'll go be in scale, maybe they won't. But here's how this All Might's head looks on the Anime Heroes body. And it looks way too tiny. And I don't really like that at all. Now we'll go ahead and take a look and see what the Anime Heroes looks like on the McFarlane. And, you know, if that flesh tone was right, that wouldn't be a bad look. That's actually scaled very well. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Here's how Bandai's Anime Heroes, My Hero Academia's All Might scales up against the other figures from this wave that I've already reviewed. Over there on his left, we have Midoriya Izuku. And over there on his right, we have Bakugo Katsuki. Now, if I had to choose one of these three figures that I must really have to have in my collection, it would be the Izuku Midoriya one. I think they nailed it out of the park with that figure. It's not as good as the McFarlane for the price point, but I still think that's a very good figure. Now, the other two I'm torn between because I do like the body size of that All Might. I think he's nice and big and beefy, but yet I think the yellow could have been a little different. And his hair and his gauntlets and his boots, I mean, they are all matching colors. I think his hair should be just a little bit off. But anyway, I do like that All Might, but it's just, it needs some improvements. And the same thing can be said about the Katsuki Bakugo. I think his hair is just a little bit too pale white instead of that yellowish blonde look. And I think he could have had a little bit more detailing in him. But this is not a bad set of figures. Now, if they ever release into the US and they go on clearance sale for about $15, then I'd say pick these things up, but I wouldn't say pay no more than $20 a piece for these figures. Our Anime Heroes All Might scales up against a couple of Izuku Midoriyas from McFarlane Toys. Over there on his left, we have the original release of the McFarlane Toys Izuku Midoriya, and over there on his right, we have the GameStop exclusive full scaling effect Izuku Midoriya. The Anime Heroes All Might scales up against a couple more McFarlane Toys. Over there on his left, we have Katsuki Bakugo, and over there on his right, we have Tomoro Shigaraki. Our Anime Heroes All Might scales up against a couple more McFarlane Toys. Over there on his left, we have Shoto Todoroki, and over there on his right, we have Okucho Uraraka. We're going to take our scaling over there to Hasbro. Over there on All Might's left from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection line, we have the Walgreens exclusive Dragon Shield Black Power Ranger. And over there on his right from Marvel Legends, we have the Walgreens exclusive Iron Man 2020. Here's my final thoughts on this figure. He's a solid release by Bandai, but it's Bandai, so the articulation really isn't there. I know they have the SH Figure Arts line, and they need to take a page from their book because these figures aren't very posable. Now, I know you have to pay the higher dollar to get the better figure. That's understandable. But they can at least give us Marvel Legends or even McFarlane kind of style articulation. And to me, the McFarlane line is a lot better because they have better articulation, and I think they look a lot better than these figures. Even though I do like some things on this figure a lot better than I did the McFarlane toys. Like, I like how he's wider through his abs, and I like how he's wider right there around his legs and hips. I think that just makes for a very powerful looking All Might. But let me know what you think of the figure. Let me know what you think of the review in the comments below. And as always, feel the urge to collect with Surge. If you want more action figure collectors reviews, then feel the urge to subscribe to Surge. And if you've liked what you've seen, then click that big thumbs up button. If you want to get notified of my latest videos whenever they drop, click that notification bell. If you want to see this channel grow, share with a friend. Speaking of friends, you can friend me over there on Facebook. Links to that will be in the description below. You can also follow me along on Twitter. Links to that will be in the description below. It's about to go down.